Shake those hips and fake a pass. Nutmeg the nurse and make it look pure class. Welcome to the Burnie podcast.
We're back after a little break from Easter with plenty of tales from the humble town we call Blackburn. From tales of woe for Linlithgow to banished pundits. We're also joined tonight by one of our rising stars at the club, Logan Russell. Logan runs our skills academy in the Pandas and numerous teams in our little footballing pyramid.
But first, this weekend sees league leaders Armadale head to the Burnie, where a single point for us will secure promotion into the Premier League. All we can ask is that the local community come down and support us in this local top of the table clash. Kick-off is at 2:30 and we hope to see you all there.
Aye. How was your Easter, Mark? Anything interesting?
Yeah, it was quite good. I celebrated my birthday. Would you like to know what I got for my birthday?
Happy 50th birthday?
I can't say what I was going to say. I was going to put a bleep in there, but I thought better of it. No. I got a a dishwasher.
No, aye.
A dishwasher
fab.
And a gym membership.
Oh, mate. I'm so happy for you.
So, yeah, I'm going to try and get a bit fitter, and the dishwasher's definitely going to make a difference. Although I don't think I can really train the children yet to load it and stack it and unload it correctly. But
you can get there.
We'll get there. We'll try that.
One day.
What about your Easter? How did your Easter camp go?
It was really busy, aye. We got 33 kids down there. And so, when we done the first podcast advertising, I said I had 10 spaces left. I wanted to get 30. We got to 33. So
33, brilliant.
I smashed it. It was a good week. I was actually quite sad when it ended. Kids were brilliant. It was long days, like, were 12 hours each day, like, because the one-to-ones were going on after. But
of course, I never thought about that. You had the one-to-ones as well.
It was class. Like, it was a really, really good week.
I saw some of the pictures on that. It looked really, like, the kids looked like they were having a ball.
Aye, no, they were.
Literally.
Aye, they enjoyed it, aye. But what about, how's your 2011's got on since sort of Easter?
Good solid training sessions. We were in cup action at the weekend against Broxburn, and we didn't turn up in the first half. We lost 5 goals in the first half. 4 goals in the first half. And second half we did, like, Stern talking to at half time. We kept it. We scored in the second half, and they only scored another one. So it's 5-1 defeat. So that's us out the cup. But we're in action this Thursday against Armadale. Yes, we're actually against Armadale. And then, funnily enough, we're playing. Yeah, the senior team are playing Armadale on Saturday. So it's going to be interesting to say the least. What about your 2009s?
Well, we broke up for Easter and then we came back, played the game against Spartans. We showed up to the pitch with 12 players, had to make a sub at half time, finish the game with 11 players. Well, I actually do, but you know what I mean, we didn't have any subs.
You didn't have any subs,
and we got beat 2-1. So we actually, we put in a performance, to be fair. Like, we did, kind of gear as much. I think we played alright for, like, what the day was and what we had available. I think we played as best as we could have set ourselves up. Some people disagree, but that's just my opinion. I thought we'd done as well as we could for sort of having a makeshift 11, a makeshift squad going into it. And we didn't have a game at the weekend there, but we returned to league action at the weekend against somebody. It's not been announced yet.
And are you still in contention for the league?
Yeah. We can still win the league. We're in the regional final, and we actually got put out of a cup a couple of weeks ago as well with Musselburgh. So there's still has 3 trophies to play for though.
Right, okay.
So, like, we can still come away quite successfully.
Aye, good.
Absolutely.
Good. And other news, new signing Nick Mortimer grabbed the Man of Match award despite us losing 2-1 at home to Leith Athletic.
And we even had some under-10s mascots at the game. Complete with our mascot Panda. I don't think he has a name. Burnie Panda we call him, eh? Aye, the Burnie Panda. So they banged their drum for the full 90 minutes, so good for them.
Yeah, Easter was also a very busy time down at the club with our Extra Time initiative, allowing us to host an action-packed 2 weeks of activities that was rounded off with some fabulous face painting. Stick some pictures up there as well.
Just folk cutting about like a tiger and a panda in that class. So our legendary striker Andy Jones, he's got a nickname, Jonesy, continued his rich vein of form and won the East of Scotland First Division Player of the Week. So well done, Andy, and keep those shooting boots on for this weekend, I'm sure.
Yes.
For sure.
The girls on 2015s were playing against Glasgow City last weekend. We've got a report from one of the coaches.
Is this one spelled right this time? You know what I mean? Because the last one, we had a coach's report, I couldn't read it for the life of me.
This is definitely spelled
This is right. I'll give it a go then, Trips. Right. Yes, superb standard of football on show for both teams this morning. It was end to end, the full match, and great to see both teams playing the game the right way from start to finish. Delighted with some of our passes of play today, scored some great goals and defended well on the whole. Unfortunately, we switched off as a team right near the end of the game, which let Glasgow City nick a late winner. Heads held high today. Heads held high though, and on to the next one. Delighted for Evie getting her first goal for the team today. So well done, Evie.
Well done, Evie. Yeah.
I don't know if this goes on. Yep,
It does.
Yep. So the captain was our newest signing, Layla. The coaches have been really impressed by how well Layla is integrated into the group and constantly shows a great attitude at training. She really rose to being captain and controlled the defence well, so well done to Layla as well.
Yeah, thanks for getting in touch, girls. Please do tag us in any of your social media posts. We'll be sure to read them out and mention you as much as we can.
So, in more football and news, rumour has it you've been called in to replace Michael Stewart as a new pundit. Can you confirm or deny these rumours, Mark?
Although the rumours may be true, I will be attending the Blackburn game this Saturday. However, what on earth is going on with Scottish football at the moment? You're banning a pundit for Hampden for voicing his, quite rightly a valid one in my opinion, about referees. But what's your take on this?
Personally, it couldn't have happened to a better person. I dislike Michael Stewart.
Yeah.
I dislike it. I think a lot of the things he says just comes from a place of bias. But the thing is, you don't know what team he's batting for because he got released for Rangers. He played for Hearts and Hibs. I don't know if he's got any ties to Celtic, so you never know what way he's swinging. He just floats about. Do you know what I mean? He's quite neutral.
So it's a bit like myself, then a bit of a neutral.
Aye, but he's just doesn't. I need to keep it PG here, but he's just you can bleep this. He's a I don't like him, so I'm glad it happened to him.
Okay, fair enough. Now, before we get chatting to our guest, we've actually got some news about Linlithgow winning the Lowland League, but ineligible for the playoff spot against Borough Rangers as they've not got their bronze accreditation. Is that right? So what's their excuse? Is this purely mismanagement behind the scenes, or perhaps were they expecting the SFA to turn a blind eye?
I mean, listen, Linlithgow and Broxburn are arguably the two biggest clubs in West Lothian.
Yeah.
Falthouse have got silver or gold. I don't know what to disrespect them, but Blackburn have got platinum. So these clubs who are so-called smaller have got these accreditations. There's probably an argument.
I think there's a different accreditation. We're that for that level, but I think at the Lowland League, the bronze actually means you have to have at least like 120 seats and stuff like that.
Right, well, I don't know.
So no, but you're right. It's like we're in the right accreditation for our level.
There's probably an argument to be had about that, but at the same time, the SFA should be like, right, due to the circumstances of Linlithgow, being maybe a smaller club, try to push up into the leagues, which they should want to happen, by the way. They should have, I think, 100% given them a bit of grace in that, and maybe just made a statement and said, listen, this isn't an exception, this is like the sort of statement that we're putting out to be like, we're only letting this by once, so make sure that any teams that are looking to go up should...
Did they not let it by once already though?
I don't know.
With Rangers?
Rangers?
And
when we went down?
Yeah, when you went down, and you technically didn't have...
That's about money though.
So what we're saying, it all comes down to money at the end of the day.
I think it does. I mean, they should want a team like Linlithgow to go up, but they don't. They're going to keep Edinburgh City in there, or they're going to give Brora the bye, or in my opinion, Clydebank should be playing Brora. And that
was what I would think. I'd be going well.
But we obviously Rangers going down in 2012. If they put Rangers to the bottom of the pyramid, then there's going to be they're losing a real source of money in Scottish football. Whereas just putting them into League 2 was the best thing for Rangers at that time and the SPFL. So
you can't please everybody at the same.
No, you can't.
So yes, before we get chatting to our guest, we've just got time for a word from our sponsors.
Okay, so what makes us stand out at JT Performance Academy? So the first one is that we teach ball mastery to help you become a technically strong and confident player on the pitch. And the second one is that we teach relevant game-related habits, which is going to help a young player perform on a match day.
So Logan, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, good.
Yes, welcome to the podcast, Logan. What were you up to over Easter?
Quite busy actually, uni work. I'm doing my Youth B licence just now.
All right.
So it was the portfolio was due on last Monday there, so we just trying to get that done.
So a lot of essay writing and stuff like that.
Aye, you got a GC in that as well, aye.
No, no, during Easter I was quite quiet. No nights out.
So that's good to hear. I like that.
Sensible.
Aye. So for anyone who doesn't know who you are, Logan, what is your role at Blackburn and how did you first get involved?
So, well, the long story with how I got involved, I was actually refereeing one of Trevor's games, and he was asking me what I was doing in the morning before it, and I was like, oh, I was just doing a wee bit like kids coaching. And he was like, oh, where about you do that? And I told him where I'd done it, and he's like, oh, we want to do that at Blackburn. Why don't you come do it for us? And I was like, aye. And he's like, it's obviously your ideas, you can put your spin on it, what do you think? I was like, aye. So that's when we came up with the idea of Blackburn Pandas. So it's for 18 months up to, what's that about? 5-year-old. And it's pretty much just an early start to football, wee games, try to keep it enjoyable, try to keep them just a bit of fun for them at the weekend.
Take us back then. What are some of your earliest kind of memories of football?
Watching Hearts probably. I think my first game, I think I was maybe 4 or 5-year-old. I remember like watching Match of the Day before that just in the house on a Sunday morning. Obviously they used to start at 7:30, so get up, watch that. But always Hearts.
Always Hearts.
And who were some of your Hearts heroes growing up? Bearing in mind you probably watched a lot of that season in the Championship, eh?
We've probably still got to see Rudy Scatchell. I know I only seen a year or two of him at the end, but the Scottish Cup final and it's class. You still look back at it, you still see the videos of it, and he's the best player I think still that's played for Hearts in my lifetime anyway.
And who would you consider as good footballing role models for the kids to look up to today? Your present company excluded, of course.
Sorry, was that coach? Did you say?
Yeah.
Aye, coach. I like Pep Guardiola. I
Yeah.
do like him. I
Boring.
know, controversial.
Aye.
Some folk love him, some folk hate him, especially recently with, is it too tactical, is it too this, is it too that, but I still really like Pep.
Aye.
Really like him.
Aye. And when you were a kid, were you into playing football or was just watching it?
No, I played for like the Fun Fours at Muirston all the way up to, I think I stopped under 16s or 17s at Broxburn. And so I played for however many years that was. 10 or
Aye.
12 years.
Put down the boots and picked up a whistle.
Aye, yeah, went on to the refereeing after that because I wanted to stay involved with football. The training during the week was getting a bit much, and I was like, my heart wasn't in it to train twice a week, game on a Sunday. I was like, but I obviously love football, watch it, got a season ticket, wanted to stay involved with it, so I thought, do the refereeing course, it's a bit of money, and it's like, I didn't mind it, I don't mind getting shouted at for 3, 4, 5 different people at the same time, didn't bother me.
So what age level were you refereeing up to then?
I did for like soccer sevens all the way up to under 16, 17s at grassroots.
Right.
But obviously at that point there was times where I was 18 at the time and I was refereeing against under 17s. So
I was going to say, some of that would be quite challenging, I suppose.
Well, it was weird. I always found that the boys respected me more because it was more relatable.
Yeah.
Like, I was more relatable to them. Somebody like some of them probably I went to school with, some of them like they'd go, oh, I know him, or seen him out and about, where it was more the coaches and the parents that like they almost try to bully you because they go, here's a young referee.
Right, aye.
You just need to try to stand up to it, and I was very good at just ignoring it and not letting it affect me.
Aye, good.
That's
Something I definitely couldn't do.
No chance. I just get to raging, just folk shouting at you. That's my biggest petty hate. Like when folk are getting on at you, like.
Yeah.
Aye, no, I was like that. It didn't bother me. Like if I'm hearing a shout for a coach, like saying, "Oh, I'll get you in the car park," like that, I'd laugh. Like
yeah, it's like what?
Aye, didn't bother me. Like it didn't intimidate me or that.
Aye. So going on, talking a wee bit more about the Pandas. Obviously, you're quite known for coaching them. Why do you think introducing them to football at that age is important?
I think like how many kids play football, and like how many kids like do you see like start playing football so late and they go, oh, I really like this, I'll enjoy playing football. why wasn't this an option when I was, obviously they couldn't pick to play football at 2, but they look back and go, I wish I could play football at 2, 3-year-old. Like, I think like it's social for them. It might be folk that they see at nursery, or it might also be other kids that they see for like other nurseries, or they might end up going to primary schools with them. And like the idea is that we've got the Pandas, that they go Pandas to Skills Academy, into pre-4s, into fun 4s, and that's a wee team they've got. And so hopefully by the end of a few years' time, you have a look down and you go, so these 3 boys and girls were at Pandas, and now they're playing together at Soccer 7, say for example. Like that's the
goal.
Yeah. And obviously the main goal would be that you've got a boy that's at Pandas and then ends up playing for the seniors.
That's what you want. Yeah.
That's what you say, like a good progression.
Aye, the full progression all the way through the tree.
Aye.
Because I mean, at the end of the day, we're one, and I think you're right. I think the earlier we can get them started, the better, because it's part of our culture, and we're only going to breed better players if we start them younger.
Aye.
Scotland's only going to win the World Cup if we start as young as possible.
Dream on.
But what do you find kind of some of the biggest challenges that you face when coaching the kind of younger ones? Because that to me, like, it sounds chaos.
No, well, obviously, especially, so we've got 2 classes now just with how many kids we've got. So especially that first class, the parents need to be by their side and like helping them. So we try to keep them engaged, and like we're at the partnership centre there. So it's a big hall, and I'm quite happy. See at that age, see if they go, no feeling it, maybe never slept well the night before or whatever. If they just want to go and kick the ball up the top of the parent, it's just about wee touches of the football. And it is like, I try to keep a bit of structure to the sessions as well, and a bit of repetition, just so it's more understandable for them when they move further up. So it's just like that early start. But there is challenges, because there might be some weeks where you've got 5-6 kids having a tantrum on the floor, and it's how you...
Do you just join in? That's what I would do. I would just join in.
How you try and manage that. Either like make it more enjoyable for them.
Yeah.
And like at times, like a lot of the things I try and do, so warm up, obviously we tried warm up, so it's just we running about things without the ball. Then the second game I try to play, I always try cater it so they could do it with a ball, or if they're not feeling like kicking a ball, they can still join in without the ball. And it's the same for the third thing we do at the end. That I just want, I want there to be a variety. If they're no they don't want to kick the ball, but if they want to run about with it in their hands, they can still join in with the session. I think it's important that even just listening to a coach, a different person at that age, it will just make it easier for them when they go to Skills Academy, then to pre-4s and to the wider.
Excellent.
Definitely. And how do you find that balance of, like keeping it fun and also having that structure? Do you know what I mean?
It can be hard. Because obviously, if you go and start saying them, like, let's put out a cones, like, we're doing a passing drill, they're going to look at you and be like,
what?
What's going on here? So, it's like, I'm trying to think of an example, like, we'll maybe do, like, so, I'll think of, like, a game, like, we'll pretend that we're on, like, an aeroplane, say, or something along those lines, and we'll split the hall into different areas, and we'll maybe say, like, there's a green area over here, and that's maybe our desert. Not our desert, our rainforest. Jungle. So we'll maybe pretend, we'll do our toe taps on the ball, but also climb up a tree. So just wee things like that. Just wee creative games that'll kind of spur them on. Or we'll maybe go there'll be a light, and that'll be snow. So we'll go, can we do our penguin taps or wee inside touches? So it's wee things like that it's like creative wee games that also has a link to football and has a link to doing wee skills.
What's something that like a 5-year-old or younger said to you or done that's really stuck with you?
Good question.
The wee lad, I'm not going to name him obviously, the wee lad, he nearly pulling the fire alarm each week.
He's actually stopped doing that now, but there was a wee boy that every week he'd just for a laugh, just try and run at the fire alarm, and you just see
his dad would just scoop him up.
No, he stopped doing that now. See the one that there's obviously it's a shame to see, but at the same time it means I've done my job right. See if their parents are trying to drag them out the hall, or if they're in tears at the end, no one to leave. That means that I've done my job for that weekend. That kid has loved it so much that he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
Like I'd say like that when that happens, that like you remember them.
Aye.
And what's sort of your favourite age out of them to coach? Do you think it is easier to do the 5-year-olds, and think it's maybe funner with the 1 and 2-year-olds, or what are you thinking?
Actually, a mix. Like they're all decent for different things. So like the 5-year-olds, you might get a wee bit more out of them, like a wee bit more chat out of them, and maybe a bit of attitude and a bit of like, no, I'm not doing that. And there's maybe something else you need to like work with. But then obviously the 2 and 3-year-olds, they're like dead easy to just you tell them what you want them to do and they just do it.
And how important do you think is this full pathway into senior football?
I think the way it's going, like if we're wanting obviously Blackburn to keep going further and further progressing, I think it's really important.
Yeah.
That way, because it means that, like as I said earlier, like the kids they've got teammates that they've got right from the start, and everything's a wee bit more natural and a bit more like it's a progression. So like it's not like Fun Fours say, aye right, there you go, play Fun Fours, and they're looking at their coach going, what's going on here? Where like especially the second Pandas class, I've started playing wee games with them at the end, so just so they understand the concept, so we can, if we need to, we can go through like small rules, like what happens if the ball goes out of play. So as well a wee bit, I'm trying to take the stress off the coaches that take them.
Exactly. And I suppose it allows you to develop the talent more.
Yeah. So if they've got a basic understanding, it makes it easier, and it maybe means that the coaches then need to spend 5-6 weeks on the basics, where if they've already got a basic understanding, then it'll make it easier.
No, definitely. And then like obviously, so you go for Pandas to a Skills Academy. What do you think the main goal of the sort of Skills Academy is? Obviously you've just touched on a wee bit about sort of that basic understanding, but what are you like really trying to build in them, like technically?
So in there, like obviously it's just a bit trickier. So like maybe less of the wee game, like as in like the wee aeroplane game as I was talking about there, but maybe a wee bit more structured. So maybe that's when we implement a passing drill, or like a wee pass and a shot, just wee things like that. That's maybe, it's obviously it needs to have the fun part of it, just so that they stay engaged, but also just like a wee bit trickier, so that obviously when they go to pre-fours they understand it.
Yeah. And how do you kind of support any potential skills or like spot actual potential in the young players? Is there anything that you go like he's going to be really good?
The one that I notice is, see if the ball's running, so say for example the ball's going away and they're running after it, some kids will like move their full body around the ball, and that's when you go, right, he's obviously still needs a wee bit more to understand it. But see, it's the ones that can stop the ball and turn it, or if it's just one touch to go back, that's when you go, right, okay, he's no, like it looks natural to him playing football.
Yeah.
But that's normally one of the ways. And also like at that age, like it's if they can lift the ball off the floor, I guess, because that means that they're obviously hitting the ball
correctly,
hard enough and correctly. Yeah, that's another way that you kind of see it.
What do you think separates a kid from that progresses quickly and one who doesn't? Do you think it's maybe just like attention span or IQ? Like what do you sort of think?
I think actually, there are a few things, because obviously if you've got a kid that's just sat in his room and never done anything before, then obviously it's going to take longer. But see if you've got a kid that maybe has done other clubs, has maybe played other sports, then I think like it will be easier for them. Like I think it's important that like kids play loads of different sports at that age, not just football, because once they do get older, I think like their main sport, it will become easier for them.
Yeah. And then there's another point I wanted to touch on was, obviously you'll get a lot with it. You won't get any 5-year-olds with mobile phones, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess you will have seen the change dramatically. And do you think that does have an effect on the amount of screen time all these kids are playing? And I think you're right. I think trying to have the football at such a young age and breed that into them should have a positive effect rather than a...
I suppose like technology's changing so much. Like if like I've had to be fair, like I've had a parent come up to me before. He was a bit older. I think the boy was maybe 6-year-old, and he was like he doesn't understand like the rules. He's struggling to get it. Do you have any recommendations on how to do it? And like obviously before you'd go, well, you could take it my game, But now I just said to him, look, does he have an Xbox? He's like, yeah. He was like, does he play any football games on his Xbox? No. And he's like, so why not, is that an option? Why not you download a game and then it gives him because obviously the boy's obviously going to be on his Xbox every night. So that was just like one example. Or I was like, just YouTube. And I was, because he was 6, I was like, just YouTube like 5-a-sides. Or if you want to do a big game, do a big game. But just like it can be useful as well, technology for them that age.
Yeah. Aye, I guess it's appropriate use of technology.
Yeah. It makes sense. So I've never thought of it like that. Like, just they can understand football through playing FIFA. And to be fair, that's like how we grew up understanding that. Do you know what I mean? But moving more on like yourself as a coach, do you obviously maybe spoke a wee bit about the sort of young ref thing? Do you sort of get that feel like a coaching perspective, like, oh, young coach, I'm not taking him seriously?
I have, and I do think about, right, how do I work? Well, because obviously I've coached an older team before last year, and I was trying to find that balance. And this year, I think I'm doing it all right, because I find personally there's no point going super serious, like angry. Did I do this? Did I do that? Because that's when they just go, aye, all right, whatever. Aye, you're only a couple of years older than me, so I try. I know I let them away with a wee bit more than I should, but that's because I feel that I get more effort out of them, and like, see if it's something that I need them to be like proper full on with. I feel like I can get a wee bit more out of them, where if I go like shouty, I don't think personally they'll like listen to that and respect that. I think they would just be like, turn a blind eye to it and go, I'm not listening to him. But if I'm like having a wee bit more of a laugh with them, etc., then I think that's maybe a better balance for me right now. Obviously that might change as I get older as well.
But what would you say has kind of been one of your toughest moments as a coach so far?
Oh.
And how did you deal with it?
Toughest moments as a coach? Probably at my old team, it was actually a bit of a shame. So we knew the team was going to come to an end. Like, just boys moving on, and it was the coach, like the other coach who'd been taking it for when they were that age. He was happy to end it, and it was just trying to keep the boys motivated throughout the rest of the season,
knowing that it was coming to an end.
We were sat second in the league, and we weren't going to win the league, and we just had like the cup game at the end, like the cup final at the end, and it was just trying to keep them coming to training, try to like almost hope they didn't leave the team before the end of the season, just so we could get through this cup final. And we did end up winning it. Brilliant. And it was like a nice ending seasons later. Good way to end it.
Aye.
And how do you sort of handle that pressure, for the parents and the club of trying to like keep that expectation of keeping the boys playing at that sort of like that high sort of standard? If you were second, do you know what I mean? Like, how do you handle that?
It's hard, because like with that team, it was always second every through 11. So I think that was an under 16s team, and every season it was like second, third, second, and just every year you were getting closer and closer, but you weren't ever going to win it. And it was like, obviously the parents, they obviously want the kid to do best. They want, if like a kid's not playing, obviously their lens is just their kid, their sole focus is their kid, and it's trying to go like open up and go, right, so your kid's not playing, but did you see him at training on Monday? Did you see him at training on Wednesday? Or, your kid never played this week. You're complaining, but they never showed up to training on Monday and Wednesday. Like, you need to like help us here. You need to, like, if you understand where we're coming from, then we can come with a bit of an agreement. Because like, obviously, you need, like, obviously if I had a kid, I'd want the best for them, and it's trying to find that balance where they're not, like, obviously parents often, like, a lot of people probably talk about it, say they've maybe not had a good football career, or maybe not done what they wanted to do. They start trying to live their football career through their child. Yeah. And that's when it becomes an issue. That's when it's hard.
Aye. No, you're quite right, because I had that at the weekend there, when there's a parents there expecting that their kid, who'd performed brilliantly the week before, right, they're definitely going to be starting this game, and the kid didn't start, and it was because of their behaviour at training.
Aye,
And it's going, I want to go and run up and tell them, like, don't, you know what I mean, don't be disappointed, like, there is a reason why we're not starting them here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very difficult.
No, it's probably the thing that the parent doesn't realise. They say it, but then next week there's another parent saying it, and then the next week it's another. Like, you can never keep everybody happy.
All 16, you can't keep them all happy.
Oh, definitely not. And what have you sort of like learned about yourself through coaching?
What have I learned about myself? Probably how poor a footballer I was. That's what I'd say. Or how, if the things that maybe I shout at a player is the things that a coach would shout at me, and it's maybe gave me a wee bit more of an understanding of, well, like, obviously with how I was like, I don't know, like, I'm trying to like explain it. So like,
You've been able to see things from a different perspective.
Aye. And maybe that perspective a few years ago, if I understood it then, I'd maybe...
You might have progressed yourself a bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, mate. It's all these things. But if you could give yourself, your younger self, one piece of advice, starting out, what would it be?
As a striker, run the channels more.
Run the channels
I
more.
was very much play the ball at my feet. If it's 5 yards that way or 5 yards that way, it's alright. Somebody else can get it.
Oh, mate.
Don't like that mentality.
I mean, the next segment is about mindset and stuff like that. I don't know if we should ask him that, do we?
The mindset's better now.
Aye, definitely. So, what do you think is more important at a young age? Winning or development, or like a wee mix of both?
It's important to build that winning feeling, because if a player never wins, they're never going to know like what it feels like. But at the same time, at like that a young age, going into like 11-a-side football, it's all about developing. It's trying to get them to be like technically, tactical, stronger.
At what age though? Like, do you like? I get everybody gets a participation medal, right? I get that, but at what age does that stop?
Oh, well,
11.
When it goes to 11,
when there's a league table, like a league
table, yeah.
But then I think that's the good thing about it. See if you've got 2 or 3 teams at every age group, and maybe there's an A team, B teams, and that means so like
if they're all in the right leagues, then they should all get some
they
reward.
should all develop
at
the right rate. Obviously, it's a shame where like obviously we were lucky that pretty much every age group there's a few teams, but there's other age groups where there's maybe other teams where there's maybe only one team at that age group, and you've got a player that's really good, but then you've also got a player that's not as good, and then you're going, so that player that's not as good needs a lot of development, but the player that's maybe really good and ahead of his other teammates, his goals maybe more about winning.
Yeah.
No, for sure, mate, for sure.
Good stuff. So what kind of, you've already talked about how you determine success as a coach by looking at the things, but what kind of values are you trying to pass on to the kids as a coach?
I think obviously respect. Probably try to be good people. Like the way you act on a football pitch. Like if you watch a football match, like a game, and you can probably work out who's the troublemakers in school just by a football match. And
I like that analogy. Yeah.
So it's just try to, make them better people, and you can do that on a football pitch. Like silly things like it means nothing, but like high fives at the end. Who high fives the other team at the end? Who makes a comment to the other team that's maybe wrong? Like it's wee things like that where you just try to like build respect, build good characters. Where that's at the end of the day, if you've got 11 players that are good characters, willing to work hard pitch, and also off the pitch. Like there's so many things that like football links to the real world as well. Where if you've got somebody that's respectful, got a good character, work hard, isn't lazy off the pitch, they're probably also going to be that on the pitch, aren't they?
Yeah.
Absolutely, mate, absolutely. So, like looking sort of forward, where do you see yourself in like 5 to 10 years? Like what's the sort of dream, do you know what I mean? Because obviously saying, you're saying about your youth being that, are you looking to go into academy football, professional football as a coach? What are you sort of thinking?
Well, this is so obviously it's a football coaching university course, so I'm at the end of my second year, just sent away my Youth B videos to get assessed. But this is where it takes a bit of a turn. I don't know if I want to do coaching. Like, I don't know, like, I want to be involved in football 100%.
Like analysis.
Analysis, like, it last, like, before Christmas there was a module on analysis. I really enjoyed that. But then also the scouting aspect of it as well. There's obviously so many new jobs opening up in scouting and analysis that I think it's maybe something like that.
Like opposition analysis and things like that.
Yeah, just like things.
I think a lot of jobs will open up analysis, especially with the way AI is going at the moment.
Yeah.
And the way that it can analyse videos, you've got all your VO stuff and like that. I think it'll not be long before actually scouting jobs might be automated. It'll just be like...
We actually had a guy in a couple of months ago. He's a scout at Hibs and Scottish national team as well. It's the way, so there's like 3 different types of scouting, and it's like he's going on about there's a website that you just search a player and it'll show you a full game, like his full game for like years and years and years. So his example was Lewis Ferguson. So he searches up Lewis Ferguson. I can't remember the name of the website it was. Clicks on him and then
Can't remember. He's not getting these tricks.
Clicks what team it was. So he clicked Hamilton. So obviously that would have been 10 years ago now he was playing with Hamilton. It's like full games.
Wow.
And you're like, that's mental.
Yeah, it just shows you like
how things have transitioned on.
I mean, that's all cool, but the answer we were looking for was like Blackburn Player Development Officer or something like that, 10 years time.
Could happen.
I mean?
So, if your coaching style was a professional manager, who would it be?
I'll go with Derek McInnes.
Okay.
I'll go with Derek McInnes. Why not? Doing well now, sat top of the league, right as it stands. When's this coming out?
Friday.
So we'll still be top of the league on Friday.
You're hanging on by a thread.
I'll go with Derek McInnes.
Just give it a month.
Still there, mate. Still there.
Yeah, aye. No, brilliant. What's one drill that is like a go-to that you like doing? Maybe the kids don't like it. Do you know what I mean? Like that one drill, it's like high intense. Maybe the kids don't like it. Like a running drill or something.
Oh, a running drill. Actually, one that one of the other coaches started or done, and I actually quite liked it. Was so say you had 12 boys, it's just a massive big box. It'd just be 8v4. So 8v4 possession. So obviously the 4 just need to run and win the ball back. If they win the ball back, they're going to try to keep it. But obviously, at that point there's 8 defenders. So there's likely they're going to be chasing boys constant and just do it for a few minutes, and that obviously runs them.
Fair enough.
Disguised fitness, definitely.
Right, we'll go into some quick fire questions then.
No worries.
If you could coach any player or club in the world, who would it be?
Hearts.
Funniest player you've ever coached?
Quick. I'll go with Charlie, the team now. He's just mental. Every training sessions it's something new, and he's best one. He always forgets something, whether it's a shin pad, a jumper. He's always running back to the pitch going, "Where's my jumper? Where's my shin pad? Where's my water bottle?" It's constant.
Brilliant. What's the favourite venue you've coached or played in?
I scored at the Falkirk Stadium, so
aye.
I scored there, so I'll go there.
Aye. What's one sort of like pre-match ritual you've got?
Nah, they do rituals. Nothing
Good.
like that. None.
Good.
Just on the pitch straight away. Because if I do something like that, I try to avoid that.
That's good. That's a good mentality. I have to keep that. What's your favourite player of all time that's not a Hearts player?
Favourite player of all time that's not a Hearts player? I'll go Ronaldo. Probably go Ronaldo.
Okay.
Aye. What were your favourite Scottish player of all time?
Favourite Scottish player? The Hearts no included again.
No, I'll give you Hearts.
Shankland.
VAR, bin it or keep it?
This can't be quick. I'll go keep, but there needs to be changes.
Aye.
Okay, aye.
Hearts win the Champions League or Scotland win the World Cup?
Hearts won the Champions League any day. Hearts won the Scottish Cup. Hearts won the League Cup over that. 3G
or grass?
Grass. Prefer a grass pitch.
Prefer the grass.
Yeah.
Neymar or Bale?
Bale. Can't be dealing with Neymar. All that. Always injured on his sister's birthday. All that. Can't be dealing with all that rubbish.
Android or Apple?
Apple.
Ice cream or chocolate?
Chocolate.
And if football wasn't the
I
path,
want to give you one there.
Right.
GC or why not?
those are clubs, by the way, just in case anybody.
GC. Closer. Easier to get home from. Cheaper.
That's a good answer. And if football wasn't the path, what do you think you'd be doing instead?
Oh, PE teacher maybe?
PE teacher. I can see you as a PE teacher.
Something to
Aye.
do with sports still.
Aye.
And if it wasn't sporty, what are you getting yourself into?
What did I get myself into if it wasn't sporty? Maybe like still in the teaching role, but maybe just like like a personal support teacher or something like that.
Yeah.
So just helping. Something like that maybe.
Fair enough. But no, I think that's a great sort of way to end the podcast. So thanks for coming on, Logan. We'll see you on Saturday at the game.
Possibly. What? Half two kick-off?
Half two
today?
kick-off.
Half two.
Are your beloved Jambos not playing?
They're 4:30 on Sunday, Easter Road.
Aye.
Last game of the weekend.
Good stuff. Well, will you be there?
Oh, I'll tell you right now. Give me 10 seconds, and I'll find out if the game's been put up for the 09s. Spawned. What do you?
Spawn should be a shortcut on your desktop, mate.
I know.
Right on the home screen.
East Calder at 10:30. Yes, I'll be there.
Excellent.
I'll be at the
excellent.
Blackburn game on Saturday.
Right, so we'll be there. So do pop over for a chat, and we look forward to seeing you all on Saturday. Kick off at 2:30, and we'll see you there.
On the Burnie.
Go on the Burnie.